I am so happy. I'm so happy to be live. You know what I'm talking about?
The community art, literature, and music, the Calm Show.
Yes, sir. Yep,
Thanks for fucking
absolutely.
rocking with us, man.
Yes, sir. What it do? What it do? What it do? Come show. What it do? Come show. What it do? Everybody.
This episode for me was real relaxed episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different lens in the learning process for me, so I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. I'm sitting back and I'm just kind of vibing.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
we already spoke about what was the important thing for me, and I feel like we got that figured out and down packed. So we vibing, man. I'm chilling. I'm enjoying. I'm glad I'm here.
Hell yeah.
I will say that I'm happy to be here, man. I'm excited. The room in the group chat is awesome. The energy in the group chat is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The most highest human act is to inspire. So that's Nipsey Hussle, and I love
Mm-mm.
that about him. For me, it's about exposing people sometimes to the good that they don't even see in themselves,
Big facts.
and that is everything for me. I mean, let me ask y'all this: have you been to an art museum? Either of you guys or both?
I've been
Yes.
to a bunch because I live in DC. I've been to the Smithsonian.
So many. Oh yeah, so many
So
in
many.
DC.
Mm.
I've been to a lot of different Smithsonians. Like I've seen a lot of different art. I've been to the Museum of Natural History, the Fine Art Museum. I've been to the African American Museum. If it's a museum in DC, I've pretty much been there.
Uh huh. Yeah, they got
I
so
take
many museums,
I take
sports.
my kids. I mean, I try to expose them to that kind of stuff, perspective on life. So, and you can't do that without getting yourself out your comfort zone sometimes, and like going to experience things. Like when you see this stuff in person, though, it's so like powerful. You can look at like the different styles of brush strokes they use. It's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, down here in South Africa, bro. Like I'm saying, I've been to a lot of art museums, man. Like I'm a fiend for that kind of stuff, and I've been to a lot of art museums. Um, in all over the provinces, because as opposed to states, we have provinces over here, and I've been to literally the majority in almost all the provinces, and it's a lot of them, bro. It's a lot of them. A lot of the natural history museums as well. They are over here in South Africa. Like some of the oldest, you can just imagine some of the oldest freaking bones of freaking humanoid species and all that. At the Natural History Museum, they're also there as well. So I've checked that out. Some fossils. I'm a big fiend for that. Archaeology. I'm a big fiend for archaeology as well. I know you guys are too. So over here, like in some of these universities, they really have some of these things where when those guys came from America, those guys I'm talking about the lecturers, like those are professors that came to do archaeology, that came from England or America. So they came to Africa, and then they were like doing all these finds and all these digs, right? Uh, and because of that, like I'm saying, like there's a lot of unearthed stuff as well in a lot of museums over here that's very, very ancient. Like I'm talking about like very old, like 50, 100, 200, 500,000 years old. So I love that type of shit. And I'd love you guys to come and check it out with me. Please come to South
Absolutely.
Africa. Everyone in the chat.
Man, I can't wait to get there, man. I'm not
Hey,
lying. I can't wait to visit. I'll be watching videos on YouTube, watching South Africa. So this is the piece here. This is a piece. inspired by Martin Luther King, actually, by artist. It's called The Promised Land. I see The Promised Land. An artist named Tim Rollins. So it's actually done on it's acrylic that's laid on top of book pages.
I can't
Pages.
see. I can't see it, bro. Like I'm seeing a black screen with what looks like a white demon, bro.
Ah,
What do you see?
A black screen with a white V, more or less.
A white V?
Yeah, it almost looks like some. If I were to do art, that's what legs would look like.
Legs. Okay, I see. Okay, so you got that's an interesting viewpoint. It's interesting what you see
I
here.
love the legs. I love
So
the legs
you
one.
so you actually focus. All right, so let me ask you this: do you see the pages, like the pages in the white that you see in the legs? Do you see the pages?
No, not really.
All right, so let me ask you this: what about the black portion of it? What shape is that?
Well, I got one triangle and two rectangles.
Okay, it is. It's a huge triangle. So that's actually the piece of art. That the triangle is acrylic black paint, and is painted on top of all of these pages that are laid out, and all of the pages are
Shit, now I see it.
yeah, all of the
Okay.
pages are by Martin Luther King, like his books and sayings and all different type of stuff. But we'll get into an actual video that kind of shows a little bit more, and we'll react to this video. And so, but that's the actual picture.
Yeah.
So let's look at the actual video now. Let's see.
Just I'm saying, like, so you say that you couldn't see nothing but a V. That's so interesting because that is a very huge piece of art, actually, you know? And to
Yeah, it
think
probably don't
that
help. I'm looking at a little 2 inch by 3 inch
that
screen on the
no,
phone.
yeah, that's very good. That's very good because, like, at the end of the day, if I show you an artwork, even if it's like the size of like a picture, like an ID photo, you know what I'm saying? What do you
Yeah.
see? Still, what do you see? And you said, well, all I see is like two white V's, and that's quite interesting.
A few years ago, we embarked on creating a body of work based on the life and the legacy and the writings and the sermons of the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. King was my hero growing up. I was a kid in rural Maine. He was assassinated April 4th, 1968, and I was 13 years old. And I remember being in bed, and the assassination was announced. And my father had a problem with black folk. And I remember vividly Dad saying he got what he deserved. And I remember my blood going cold, and I just cried myself to sleep. The evening before the assassination, he delivered his great I See the Promised Land speech at Church of God in Christ in Memphis, Tennessee. He talks about the Renaissance and the Trinity, and the motif in almost all his speeches and sermons is the triangle. And we were excited about doing this exhibition, talking about the power of the triangle. In one of his greatest sermons, called The Three Dimensions of a Complete Life, he talks about life at its greatest being the great triangle. And he goes, there are three angles in a triangle. And the first is me. And then you've got we, because we're totally dependent on one another. It's like Huck and Jim on a raft, totally dependent. They need each other to survive as humans, to survive as spirit. And then at the top, he calls it DEI. It's a higher power. It's the thing that gets you up in the morning. Gladly. It is the power that sustains you during good times and bad times. And if you notice, the apex of this triangle goes off the picture plane.
Ohio, what up?
In other words, it's never ending. It goes off. So it's like a highway to heaven. So that's the meaning of this word.
Hey, that's deep right there. I didn't even notice the tip of the triangle was missing.
You know what I'm saying? Because it can never really be complete. Like it's something that's eternal. Like it goes on forever.
Yeah. Dude, and just
And
think about like that dude came up with all this in his imagination, bro. Like my brain don't work like that, so it's hard for me to understand. Like I'm not very artistic by any means. I mean, I can look at it and tell you what I think it means, but I I wouldn't have connected the dots the way he just did right there. But
Well, yeah, I
now
think
you're
that's one of the beautiful things about art too. Is it's okay for you to see whatever you see. Whatever. It's not necessarily you trying to figure out what you think it is. Sometimes it's more about it is kind of whatever you see. In some cases, but yeah, this one was more of a literal piece, right? What you think?
oh, yeah.
More like he kind of knew.
yeah, yeah, big facts. As you can see as well, like how many triangles are there?
Um, 3.
Yeah, exactly. Because I see the two white ones and the one black one, which also goes to the
Yeah,
me, we, and D and the die or the D.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
you see, it's the 3, and it goes back to the Trinity as well. Because you know how Martin Luther King was also a spiritual man, and
Yeah.
the law of 3. You see what I'm saying? So, and the law of tri as a triangle, right? So there's also a lot of symbology within the art. There's also a lot of I forgot what it's called, but the symbolism in numbers. There's a word for it. It's like numerology. It's
Mhm.
something. Yeah. So there's all of that involved in this art piece, and it's interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Yeah, I think the whole story of how he was inspired by Martin Luther King coming up from being white and his dad being racist, and it's just powerful to see a little boy at that age, even with those type of influences, because your parents is telling you what to think at that age, so he still was. He said at that age, Martin Luther King was his hero. I'm like, damn, that's deep, bro.
Mhm.
Despite his father being a huge racist, despite all of this stuff that's going on and around him, it was his choice at that young age to say that's my hero. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
yeah.
especially
Wow.
being so far from the north where it's probably not as prevalent like for him to see every day, because the north has been integrated a lot longer than the south. Is definitely powerful for him to choose that to be his hero at that age. Like that's a
Mm.
conscious choice. Shout out to him
Yeah.
for being woke well before woke was a thing.
Big facts.
For real.
Big
Yeah,
facts.
for real. My boy was he was
Forever
he was
fire,
like
bro.
spiritual in his own right. He was in tune, like
He's a star player.
he
Yeah.
was in tune, man. He was in tune. Like he was like, yo, that dude, he knew Martin Luther King was special to him. That's wild. Like he knew something at a young age, like, man, that dude's special. Like that dude is gonna change the world. And I wanna follow that.
Yeah.
So that's deep. Shout out to that dude, Tim Rollins, man. Shout out to him. He got a lot of other cool pieces too. He did the Huck Finn piece with the indigo, which we always talk about.
Which,
So we probably definitely
which,
look at that piece.
we're gonna have to cover the Huck Finn next week. We had our 15 minutes for art, and we decided literature is the long one this week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there was so much. I wanted to do so much art. And we still have so much art. Oh my goodness! Like it was yesterday when we went through those other
Oh, that
artifacts.
listen, we can't forget about that. We gotta stretch it out. We gotta go to the Reddit. We gotta go to the Reddit. All right, so we on the Reddit. We on the Reddit. All right, so this is artifact porn. Shout out to Blunt for introducing me to this subreddit or Reddit page, whatever you want to call it, Reddit community. And follow the team Zaza Genetics on Reddit too. If you mess with Reddit, we're gonna start chilling in the Reddit more often.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, this is artifact porn, man. So this piece here, we was tripping over yesterday. We did look at a couple of these pieces. I would say probably like the first couple of pieces, probably like first 5 or something. And we was tripping over a lot of these pieces. But this from the Viking era, ring inscribed with words for Allah. I was tripping over this.
Already, bro.
1,200 years ago.
Yeah, 1,200 years ago
1,200 years ago, man.
in Stockholm. That's in Sweden, right? So this ring was found in Sweden, in Stockholm, in Sweden.
Yep.
And it's
The ring
from basically 1,000 years ago.
Evidence of direct contact between the Vikings and the Abbasid Caliphate.
Caliphate. Mm.
Abbasid
Those are ancient people, bro.
Yeah.
These are ancient names, bro.
Yeah. Beautiful piece, man. Look at that.
Man, you can't even grab that with a normal glove. You can't even grab that with your hand. I mean, look at that glove, bro. Like it's got them bumps on it. It's got the grip, so that it doesn't just easily slip off and fall out of your hands, bro. Now I'm talking about like that's that glove. It's got that fur on it. Make sure that when you hold that thing, it's smooth.
He said, call that glove the gripper.
You know what I'm saying? That's that grip glove. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But onto the ring, bro. Like I'm saying, just look at the
Yeah.
way, that thing was just sitting in that stone. Like I'm saying, the intricacy of the work, brother. Like, let's just look at the intricacy of the work. You gotta go back. You gotta go back, bro. You gotta go back, bro.
I'm going back.
You gotta go back, bro. Because I need us to discuss the fact that this was 1,200 years ago.
1,200 years ago, bro.
Yeah, bro. And I think you even have to add a few more years on top of that. You still have to add a few more years on top of that. And like I'm saying, bro, the way that ring looks, bro.
I'm high. I closed it down because I'm high.
Ah, shit, it's all good, man. Shit.
Yeah.
That ring look, bro. Like,
back. How about now?
There we go.
There we go.
1,200 years ago, man.
Look at the way they set that thing, bro. Look at the way they set it, bro. Just the way that they set that thing, bro. The mold of it. Because that's one mold. That's like one mold of it. To set that piece in there, bro. Like that's to think that a human was already like this artistic 1,000 years ago proves to you that humans who have been long artistic thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago.
Well, and think
It's not
about
just
for that
now.
to hold up as long as it has with the primitive tools they must have had that many years ago too. It's not like they have what these jewelers have now. Like that's kind of crazy to think about.
And I mean, look, those lines are relatively straight right there. Like I'm saying, that's not even lines. Those are real letters and alphabets and shit like that. Like already a language system was developed 8,200 years ago. You see what
That's
I'm saying?
Arabic.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So already they were really already inscribing shit. So that's how you know thousands and thousands of years ago, people were already at it. People were already at it because this is too intricate, bro. And that's so old. So
And they were Muslim. That's what and the Muslim Vikings is crazy.
Muslim Vikings is
I
crazy.
wouldn't think there was Muslim Vikings.
And
I
Muslim
thought
Vikings
Vikings like
crazy.
worshipped deities and stuff or
But
whatever.
this right here says for Allah. That's what it says in Arabic. So whoever wore that ring, either didn't know what it meant or knew what it meant. And if they knew what it meant, they was probably Muslim.
Yeah.
Because that's Islam. I mean, that's Arabic. That's pretty cool, man.
That is pretty dope.
Next piece. Oh yeah, this This is a more than 10,000 years ago. A woman or young man made two.
Oh no, hold on. I think you went a bit down.
Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
1500-year. Thank you, Blunt. I would have read that whole thing and didn't realize till after I read it. A 1500-year-old arrow was discovered last week in Norway, nestled between the rocks. Wow. The research team believes it was encased in ice and was then transported downslope when the ice melted. So
that part of the fact that, bro, like that thing was trapped in an ice cube.
Look how preserved it is, man.
For 1,000 years, bro. It was trapped in an ice cube for 1,000 years until it melted, bro.
It looks brand new.
I mean, look at the intricacy of that string, the way that the string is tied, like I'm saying, to hold that arrow tip together. You see what I'm saying? The straightness of it all. That's a work. That's blacksmithing. That's smithing right there. Thousands of years ago.
Wow.
Smithing, bro. And like I'm saying, this actually makes me ask the question of what are the things that trapped in the ice that haven't melted yet?
Yeah,
the wood is fucking preserved.
That's crazy right there.
The wood looks brand new.
I mean, it was protected from the elements being stored in that ice. It's like a time
the ice.
capsule.
Put that motherfucker in the freezer, boy. Be good.
Yeah, but I think it will degrade at a very fast pace if this girl leaves with it into a place that the temperature is a bit hot. Like if this comes to Africa on a sunny day, it's gonna just fucking melt. So just disintegrate completely. So how much would you buy that for? How much would you buy that for?
How much would I pay for this?
Yeah, if they told you that this is 1,500 years old, came from a block of ice that melted from 1,000 years ago.
I mean, how much would I pay for it though? See, I'm trying to get a good deal though. So how much? I don't know.
Yeah, how much is it worth for you? Yeah, how much do you think this would be worth for you? And what would you do with it? You know, like
I'm gonna sell that motherfucker. How much I'm gonna try to sell it for? I'm probably try to sell it for like, give me 50 racks for it. We good.
Okay. 703. What's the price figure on this one?
Hey, we're playing prices right, dog. I'm gonna say 250K is what I would have been trying to sell it for.
Okay. I think 703.
I mean, that's a timeless.
Yo, where you gonna sell it at though? You ain't gonna know who to sell it to. You ain't gonna have no connections.
Hey,
I'm gonna go to the museum.
I'm going to an auction house, and I'm gonna let them auction it off to the rich folks.
Ooh, okay.
So now some of the people in the chat are saying some of these artifacts were created by aliens millions of years ago. So they're saying that they not millions of years ago, they're created by aliens, some of these artifacts, so they're worth millions. I like that ideology.
Grow Hio. Who said that?
Like in the StreamYard chat. In the StreamYard chat.
Why my StreamYard chat don't say no? Last thing I see is Grow Hio.
Yeah, in the StreamYard chat, they're saying, the price is high.
My StreamYard chat. I might lag out.
I'd put it flat at like maybe $100,000. I'll put it 100,000.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Okay.
All right, so Blunt will run the chat for us because your chat updated. I don't know why mine is just stuck.
No, I've been in the StreamYard chat. The King Mike and them, they all got us. Like I'm saying, because they're getting our soundboard. Our soundboard fixed up.
Said the lag word. I think I lagged out.
So shout out to the StreamYard chat. Shout out King Mike. I know. I'm sure Ray's in the building. There's a few others as well. So shout out to the team. Shout out to the team ZA in the Discord all the time.
Yo. Y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you the whole time.
All right, cool. I thought it was tweaking on my end. I thought I was gone for a second. I was in the Matrix.
Oh, you good?
You're good. Now you can go ahead, reset it, big bro. You go ahead, reset it, big bro. I know that I'm 703 is really excited to get to the music.
Yeah.
You ready to go to the music?
No, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like I'm saying, we can because we stretch this one because there's so much art, like we did say,
Yeah.
and there's still more. But
We
Well,
we
that's a
still
very
gotta
good
hear
piece, I'm
literature,
sure.
bro. We gotta hear
Yeah, no,
literature.
I know.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, you heard me?
Yeah, you know it.